Good morning.
Good morning, Corey.
So, let me guess. So these people spent hours on hold.
How did you know? Yes. This all started when we heard from a Winnipegger, Anil Sedha. He contacted us after what he describes as an incredibly frustrating experience trying to cancel his internet service with Rogers. He decided to cancel it because he got a better deal with another provider. He thought it would be easy, that he'd go online, click a couple of buttons, and voila, his service would be canceled. But instead, he says it took about 7 hours over several days, time spent on hold, getting disconnected, getting passed from agent to agent again and again.
It was a non-stop theme of we are having a heavy call volume.
He says no matter when he called or what day, he couldn't reach anyone who could cancel his service. And then when he finally did reach someone, they told him that they couldn't cancel, on the phone. He actually had to send them an email.
The very first reaction in my mind was like, are you kidding me? Like, first, you don't let me cancel online. Then there's no support mechanism over the phone. Finally, I get a hold of someone, and then they're asking me to go back to email.
Wow.
So
Okay.
extremely frustrating for him, right? And he says it left him wondering how anyone could navigate the system. What if you're a senior? What if you're a newcomer to Canada? And he felt exasperated that something that was so easy to sign up for would be so difficult to cancel.
And he's obviously not alone in this experience. There's other people kind of stuck in the queue as well, eh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have heard from dozens of people who are unhappy. You go to social media, there are all kinds of posts from customers complaining about long wait times, hours and hours, complicated cancellation procedures, poor service. Many say that the problem is Canada's dominance, the monopoly that exists in the telecom industry in Canada. Bell, TELUS, and Rogers, they account for about 90% of the revenue in the telecommunications market. We spoke to Eugene Chan. He's a marketing prof at the Ted Rogers School of Management. And he says Rogers' takeover of Shaw in 2023 only compounded that lack of competition.
It reduces the need for these telcos to compete and to provide good customer service because they think that customers need us, and so we don't really need to do anything to improve our service.
And Chan says without real competition and few federal rules around customer service, big telcos have little incentive to do any better. Rogers declined an on camera interview request, but they sent us a statement and they said they have millions of customer interactions every month and that they work hard to deliver a great experience.
And meantime, though, Rogers actually it just cut ties with a big call center too, didn't it?
Well, yeah, they did. It recently ended its contract with a third-party call center called Foundever. It employed hundreds of customer service agents, people who answer those phones when you call in. Neither Rogers nor Foundever would say whether those jobs have been moved and how many positions were actually lost in that layoff. We did speak to two former employees at that call center, though, and they say they worry things are going to get worse, that they spent much of the last year training up an AI system. So it would listen in and then it would start making prompts about what the agent should be offering or saying or doing for the customer. One agent said that he worries that Rogers policies require agents to upsell or sell products to people on every call, and that the lack of a personal touch with an AI system, would be lost or might be lost. And he worries, for instance, if somebody's calling in because a family member has died and they need to cancel the service, he worries how sensitive an AI prompt is going to be.
I understand you actually spoke to someone on the West Coast looking for just, that human connection.
Yeah, we did. We spoke to Fran Monroe, who lives on one of the Gulf Islands off the BC coast, Pender Island. A few months ago, a technician came to her house to replace her modem. And then soon after, she and her husband started getting two bills, one for her old account, and then there was a new account that was created, and the old account was never shut down. And like Anil Sedha, she says she spent hours on hold, was repeatedly transferred between departments, and still couldn't find anyone who could help her.
I wasted a lot of time and some sleepless nights wondering, what am I doing wrong here? Why can I not get in touch with anybody? It's just extremely frustrating.
She only got help after she reached out to the CCTS, the Commission for Complaints for Telecom Television Services. It's an independent ombudsman that resolves disputed disputes between customers and their telco providers. It doesn't handle general customer service complaints, though, but it was able to help in this case because it was a billing error. Rogers apologized. It offered Monroe to lower her monthly bill by $40 and gave her a $250 goodwill credit.
So then, if it takes an ombudsman to fix a billing mistake, what does that say about customer service in general across Canada?
Well, experts we spoke to say it shows a system that's broken and underregulated. Other countries are taking action. Now, they point to Spain, which is drafting a law that will require the vast majority of companies, big companies, to answer the phone within 3 minutes. The European Union is making it easier to cancel contracts. Germany already requires 2-click cancellations, meaning it shouldn't take more than 2 clicks to end a service. But here in Canada, there are no such laws. We spoke to Keldon Bester with the Canadian Anti-Monopoly Project, and he says Canadians are the victim of a telco oligopoly.
They sort of move in a pack, whether it's on the price of plans, the availability of international roaming, whatever product attributes those are. And so when you really don't have a lot of competitive differentiation, you're bringing the sort of incentive to switch down.
And he says it's time for new rules to make canceling or resolving issues simple, not a marathon of hold music.
So then, what do we do while we wait for that to happen besides listen to hold music?
Well, people like Anil Sedha are left on their own. After numerous phone calls, though, he estimates it took about 7 hours over several days. He was finally able to say goodbye to Rogers and says, unfortunately, he couldn't say goodbye to his lasting frustration.
Reporter Erica Johnson in conversation on Friday with the CBC's Corey Funk. If you have a story you want Erica and her Go Public team to investigate, remember they're just an email away. gopublic@cbc.ca.